Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a very special guest on at 11 o'clock in the morning. This is a little different for us. But you know what I'm going to do? Andy Klein, why don't you introduce our wonderful guest we have on this morning?
It is with great honor and privilege, with a professional record of 45, 26, and 0, the FPHL Goalie of the Year in 21 and 22 season, we have our bench boss, associate head coach, Chris Paulin. Good morning, Chris. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You guys were loud this weekend.
Hey, we try, buddy.
It's Section 9. What do you expect?
Section 9 was buzzing all night.
Our job was to get in Everett's head, and we did our job to the T.
How about that crowd, though? It was crazy in there.
What was it? 2,300 almost?
Yeah, I think it was like 2,250 or something like that. It was a good crowd. It was loud.
Yep.
Now, is that a broken record for the Port Huron Prowlers?
We got to get Will Wiggleman on the case, but I believe it is. Since I've been here, that's the best attendance, because I know that we had a lot in the playoffs last year. We had over 2,000, but I don't think we got over 2,200. So I think that might be the best we've done. So,
wow.
Well, that's good. It's starting to see that fan support come on even more and more each week. It's great.
Yeah, it's picking up a lot of traction this year. So last year, I thought throughout especially the end of the season was crazy, and then this year it's just been getting better and better every week.
You know, I was there in the dog days before the Cup, and when we first started in the years afterward, man, we struggled to see 1,000 in there. And now seeing 2,250 sitting there last night, man, that place, the crowd pops were fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Well, when it gets loud like that, even like when the guys got out, like for the starting lineups, like the whole bench is just looking up in the crowd and looking at each other. I mean, you definitely feed off that energy. So huge home ice advantage we have.
Yeah. If you think about it, if we could carry that momentum into the playoffs, that's like the 12th man in Seattle almost for football.
Oh yeah.
That's daunting. That's a psychological warfare game.
Psychological warfare, exactly, brother. You got it. That's what it is.
Richard, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be an if. It's gonna probably happen. I'm sure it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, we got to sell out the playoff games for sure. We were really close last night, so I think we got some sellouts on the way here. I'm excited.
Oh, for sure. The Port Huron faithful's definitely starting to come out and realize a lot of that good media production, the coaches show. I've seen that take off, and the crowds get packed even more for there. I hear the radio ads all the time. It's just nothing but positives coming out of the Prowler pack there.
Well, we're really fortunate too. I mean, our new owner Ken Andrews and his wife Christy, they're very hands-on. They care a great deal for the community and the Prowlers organization. They're doing everything they can to blow this thing up. So they're leading the way for sure.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, just the improvements alone on the building this year, and then just like even at the meet and greet at the beginning for like the sponsors and stuff like that, just hearing him talk and how he made it personal to come up to each one. He's really in-depth and involved in the team, and you don't usually see that from a lot of people. Usually it's old money sitting around compared to he's in that arena walking around with that headset on calling the shot.
Yeah, no, he's boots on the ground, man. He's most owners, if they are there, they're drinking beers and hanging out, and he's got the headset on. He's helping the kids shovel snow. He's got a shovel in one hand, headset in the other. Like, this guy's awesome. So, and his wife's a hard worker, and she loves it too. His kids are always helping out too. They come up during the week and help out a little bit. So their whole family's unreal.
Heck yeah. Positive moves forward. That's all we see from this organization.
Yeah, just making progress, man. Well, honestly, it sounds cliche, but it's really the community and the support we've gotten from people like yourselves that have really helped us gain some traction here. So can't thank you guys enough. You're the reason we're here. So thank you guys.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
And I think that's the main reason is when Justin, myself, and Andy started Thumb Fed Talk, it's keeping people fed with hockey, especially federal hockey, and you can see the uptake. Oh, what's Fed hockey? And they get into it, they get involved, they go to communities that have hockey or federal hockey, and boom, there's connection. Like,
oh yeah,
last night was my 1-year anniversary being part of the Port Huron Prowlers. So
happy anniversary!
Huh?
I said happy anniversary.
What's a fun anniversary? From last year until now, you could see the uptick. You could see the growth. You could see the involvement with the community in the outreach. Like the sponsor you have last night, Thumb Rust Control. That's literally 10 miles from my house.
Yeah.
And it's like seeing that, like, wow. It blows my brain. It's I'm speechless. Put it that way.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I love about this league too, and especially what we have going on in Port Huron. You have such a deep connection to the community that you might not get, like the NHL, for example. I mean, you can meet the players, you can, get to know them. You can have, them take pictures and sign autographs for your kids. I mean, we're very immersed in the community, and what we really set out to do in Port Huron the last few years and have been building towards is we wanted to create an environment where it wasn't just like the players or the ownership or the coaches or the fans. It was, we were all in it together. We all win together. We all lose together. We want the community, our fan base, our corporate partners to feel a deep connection. Because I truly feel like it's not going to be just the players and coaches or staff that wins it. It literally is going to take the fan base. It's going to take our partners. We're all in it together. And I think we all have kind of developed that persona, that grit of Port Huron. And it's us against the world. And we're going for it.
That's basically
Port
what it
Huron
is.
versus everybody, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
And that's what it is. It's like Port Huron is a different breed of hockey, different breed of people. And for a team to come into Port Huron, you got to beat Port Huron. You got to beat noise, and you also have to beat the team, and that's very difficult to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just think about it, like you talked about psychological warfare. I mean, before you even step on the ice, we're up top, in our locker room upstairs. You're waiting to go out there. We got some crazy guys on the team, you guys know, and they're, yelling at the other team, letting them know what's going to happen. Then the other team steps on the ice, and then Section 9's in their ear. I mean, it is a daunting place to play. So, and it hasn't always been like that. You guys have like made it what it is. So it's exciting. I mean, and you can see it. Like, we feed off of it. I think you guys kind of steal some energy and some will from the other team, and that all plays a huge role in it. You saw it last night. I mean, how many times we were down 5-on-3? We had to kill off a ton of penalties, and like that energy got the boys through it, and all those block shots and how the guys battled. So yeah, it's a huge advantage for sure.
Yeah, and that's war. It's war.
Yeah, yep. That's what and we have guys that have embodied that, and they feel like they're in the thick of it, and we're going to war together. Exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't even get off the bus yesterday successfully without getting chirped the whole way in the locker room. So that big lineup out there for these wonderful St. Patrick's Day pucks, it got in their head before they even got a chance to strap a skate on.
I know. I agree with you, man. I really do.
Now, you came from Carolina, correct? You're a goalkeeper at Carolina. Playing in Carolina as a goalie and becoming a associated head coach for Port Huron, is there a difference in the noise that you can tell, like in the post when you hear the noise compared to you being on the bench?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say it's a little different in that when I'm in the net, especially like if I'm on the road, some of the loud barns, especially like Port Huron, when you're on the road, and I've played against Port Huron in Port Huron, like people are talking to you the whole game nonstop. So Danbury's a little bit like that too, where they have a group of people sitting right above you. They look up, like, I don't know where they find this stuff from Facebook or whatever, but they bring up stuff from like 15 years ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, I barely remember that. So I would say like it's more targeted. As a coach, sometimes, fans, especially on the road, will like give it to you a little bit behind the glass, but nothing like they do when you're in the net. So, I think that part of it's really fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How was your time in Carolina? Was it like tell us about that, because it's really intriguing coming from Carolina as a goalie and seeing you on a bench. It's like, how was your time in Carolina?
Yeah, well, it was interesting. I had a couple different stints in Carolina. So I start my first full year in the league was in North Carolina, and then came to Port Huron, played a couple of years, and went back to Carolina for I want to say 2 seasons. Sorry, 2 seasons. And that was I really did enjoy it. My wife went to grad school down there on High Point University. So I lived with her in the summer too, and it was like 15 minutes away from where we played in Winston-Salem. I had a lot of great friends there. The supporters down there were really good, and they treated me really well. It's still like, even when I go back to Carolina, there's still a group of people that Becky and Lynn, I want to shout them out. They said, they once a Thunderbird, always a Thunderbird. So they were really welcoming. I have a lot of great memories from Carolina. I have nothing but great things to say about the organization, my time there. I thought I learned a lot, that I developed as a player and as a person quite a bit during my time there. Some things that I was doing that I thought were, the right thing at the time. I think, as you learn, you realize like your heart might be in the right place, but you develop and learn. I think my experience in Carolina helped mature me a little bit in that way, and made me more cognizant of, how my actions are perceived by my teammates, and my coaching staff. So I think that definitely helped. And then when I got a chance to come back to Port Huron, to be honest with you, I was a little bit skeptical, a little bit on the fence, and coming back and working with Graham and Johnny, I think they've put so much work into help make the program what it is today. And I've played in a lot of great places. I've never been so proud to be a part of an organization as I am this one. It's nothing like it in my career.
Really, that's great to hear. I love that. That's awesome.
Me too. Yeah.
So, Chris, I got a question I asked you last night. I don't know if you had time to ponder on it after that big win last night.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the biggest hurdle? Because I know my wife's going to not be happy with me if I don't ask you again. What was the biggest hurdle that you had from being a player to being a coach?
Yeah, well, I thought about it a lot last night. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have a short answer for that. I hope you guys got a minute, but
we got a minute.
My situation, I think everybody that I've spoken to anyway has a very unique situation when they go from playing to coaching. I think mine was also in that category, quite unique. So my situation, I started my last season. I got traded to Binghamton, played a couple of games there, ended up getting traded back to Port Huron. And at the time, I was dealing with a really bad knee injury. That I was really unsure of what the problem was, but I just knew that it was bad and like swelled up a lot and hurt a lot and it was hard to walk. So I knew when I came to Port Huron, I was hopeful that my knee would hold up. I played one game and then my knee blew up like a balloon and I couldn't walk. So I ended up having to get pretty major invasive surgery in New York City. And then while I was out, Graham and I are on the phone, and after one of the weekends, and I'm talking to him about what I saw, and he says, "Hey, I got an idea. Like, you're going to be out a long time with this surgery. Why don't you help me coach while you're out?" And I hadn't really thought about it. And then I was like, you know what? I think this will be good. I think it'll keep my mind sharp, keep me involved, be able to contribute to the team while I'm unable to play. I ended up having a series of surgery. I had 5 in like 22-month span on my knee. So during this whole rehab process, I'm coaching, still rehabbing, still getting back to health. It took years. But yeah, that's how I got into coaching. And then, I think one of the biggest challenges that I experienced personally was, I'm playing with these guys. You got guys like Parsons and Federley. I'm trying to think, a couple years ago. Guys, Dalton J, guys that I've played with for so many years, I played against for so many years, and now I'm behind the bench coaching these guys, that I was teammates with 2 seconds ago, and I think there's a challenge there because for me, you don't want to come in hot, but you also have to, and I think Austin Federley actually was one of the biggest influences for me to learn the line between friend, player, teammate, coach. Fetz actually talked to me a couple years ago and said hey, the biggest thing for you is you have to be coach first, and not necessarily a friend. So, and I think that really helped me a lot because it is tough when your teammates grinding with these guys and then all of a sudden, boom, you're in a suit and running the bench. So that was a big challenge for me. And I think there's a lot of guys that gave me a lot of good feedback that helped. Obviously, Graham's been he's a big reason why I'm still here, just learning from him. He's extremely hard working, dedicated, spends more hours than anyone knows studying and learning. He works extremely, extremely hard. So he's taught me a lot about the tactics of the game. I think the way I view the game has been improved drastically by Graham. I think guys like I said, Austin Federley was big. Vinny DeCumbus, who's still on the team, he's given me some feedback over the last couple of years. He's very direct. He's given me some feedback, and that's helped a lot. And I think something I learned from Graham, also one of my great buddies, if he's watching, Carson Schuback. They both have taught me a lot about humility and how important that is. To be able to self-assess, look in the mirror, acknowledge your own mistakes first before pointing the finger at anyone else. And I think Graham is the epitome of humility. He's one of the best players in the league's history. I think he's the best coach in the league. And you wouldn't know it by the way he carries himself. He's always asking for advice. He gives me and Johnny a huge voice. He's very receptive to our ideas. He always says we come up with strategies, tactics, decisions together as a staff, which I think makes this place extremely unique. He certainly doesn't run this like a dictatorship by any means. And I think I think going from teammate to coach, that was a tough challenge for me, and it still is. I think I'm learning and growing every day, so it's something I'm still working on.
And I think that's a big thing is having a three-piece. You got you, Matt, Graham, Johnny, and Fetz. That's four actually, but everyone has their own roles, and you feed off each other. And eventually, it's going to be lock and key, and it's just going to slip together, and boom, let's go. And you can see that. You can see the progression. You got on ice coaches seeing the game flow and then go back to, hey, Paulie, this is what's going on. You need to dictate this or move this way or vice versa. And it's like a snowball effect. You get rolling down the mountain and you have an avalanche. And it's it hits you pretty hard if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's one thing that's nice too. I've noticed too, and for Johnny and Graham, they do so much throughout the week in their own ways to prepare. And then when they get to the game, obviously they're prominent players that play big roles for us. So being able for them during the game to just focus on playing, stay locked in on their job as players. I try to obviously take a lot of load off them that way. And Graham pretty much gives me, pretty big reins to run things during game days. I think that's helped them just be able to focus on playing and contribute in that way because those guys on the ice are huge for us and they play big minutes. And you saw what they both did on the PK yesterday. Look at Johnny's sliding block shot at the end of the second period. Just giving everything he has for the boys, you love that, so being able to free up your mind a little bit, just focus on playing in those situations and then let me take a little bit of load off them. I think it's helped them a little bit too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's one thing I've noticed in Fed hockey. We've seen a lot of player coaches come throughout. And now when we have a central bench boss like yourself, the league moves such a fast pace. We go to years past when Grammer was running there, let's say Joe Pace Jr. when he was on the bench there. And so many altercations would happen. They'd be in the penalty box, which would take them away from that aspect of the coaching. And to see somebody come in now, and that's one thing I've noticed throughout this year and previous, like when you were on the bench, Now we have three minds coming together all week long, and it's molding you as a coach. It's going to continue to grow each time. That's where I see you having a bigger leg up on than, let's say, Binghamton's head coach. Can't think of his name right now. He don't matter. He's going to take an L on Friday. But that is one thing I'll say. He is watching a guy like you. Like I watched you play in the net the multiple times for Port Huron, and I was there the season that you went out injured. Watching you grow from that player to be in the role that you are in now is quite impressive. Your personal growth behind that, you can see it each game, each conversation, each interview at the end of it. You can really see them wheels turning, and they really never do stop with you. I can tell that. It shows a lot about your personality and your humility as well. So definitely, you're giving Grammer and Johnny a lot of props there, but give yourself a big pat on the back, man. You're out there. You bust your ass for this team, and it's great to see, buddy.
Well, I appreciate all the kind words. Honestly, I got to say, our group, and I talk about all the time with our leadership, which extends far beyond the captains, but let's just focus on them. You know, you got Bouchel, Federley, Brockway. I mean, these guys give so much, and not just what you guys see on Friday, Saturdays. They give so much throughout the week. They bring so much intensity. You know, there's so many days in a season where you're sick, you're injured, you can't sleep, you have nothing, and these guys bring it every single day. You know, so it makes me, and I know the rest of the coaching staff as well. How can we do more? These guys are the ones who actually set the tone for the group. So when when it's 2 or 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're watching film and you're tired, it makes you want to stay up because of what these guys do. And if these guys are out there injured, blocking shots, you see Fetz first game back from his injury, he drops the mitts and fights for his team. Like, when you see guys do that, you're like, okay, I can stay awake on my computer. I mean, I'm not, am I really that soft? So like, that's what these guys do it. They set the tone for the whole organization. And I appreciate the words, but these guys are the ones doing it. There's really, honestly, there's every single player in that room. I've seen development and growth. We focus on growing the person, and then that'll translate to your on ice performance and as a hockey player. But number one is the person, the man you're going to become. We emphasize it all the time. You don't just flip a switch and you come to the arena. The man you want to become, that's the person you are every facet of your life. We preach a lot of discipline. If you can be disciplined off the ice with your habits and your principles, that'll translate to how you play and how you can execute within a system, on Fridays and Saturdays. And these guys are the ones doing it. So, it hasn't always been like that in Port Huron. I can tell you a lot of interesting stories, time permitting, but it's where it is today. I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
It's like R2 last night. R2 took a puck right off his face and stayed off for 2-3 shifts, came right back on. Like, it's just will and tenacity that Port Huron has as a whole, like the team aspect, the man you want to become, that fire. It shows that band of brothers per se.
Yeah.
I'm just giddy as a kid in a candy store. I'm sorry, but that's awesome.
Yeah. No, that's exactly how I feel every single day. Yeah. No, it's thematic throughout our lineup. So give you a little story. So years ago, I played in Port Huron, obviously as a player. The environment and the culture was night and day different. It was literally, it couldn't have been as polar opposite as it is today. And it was actually full transparency. I did ask for a trade to Carolina. That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to be a part of that organization. I didn't. This didn't have what I was looking for. And then I got a chance to come back. Graham's in charge now. Actually, the biggest recruiter was his wife, Amber. So I do have to give Amber a shout out. She bombarded my Facebook messages trying to get me to come back. So she was the biggest recruiter in the process, more so than Graham, I would say. I give her the credit. But there was something clicked in my head at that point. Like, I was at the point in my career where, I think I was starting to get, and this is truly why I believe I got injured. Like, I think everything happens for a reason. I think my injury happened, and it became such a drastic injury. I think to kind of like make me reflect and who I am as a person and where my heart, my head was. And I think I got to the point, I knew it was towards the end of my career. My now wife, girlfriend at the time, we're talking about, this is, getting close to the end. And I really wanted to go somewhere where I could be a champion. And what I wanted was to go to an organization that already had everything in place to be a champion. And when I came back to Port Huron and realized my knee was really messed up, I remember like laying in bed late at night, and it just kind of hit me like all of a sudden. I was like, oh my God, I've spent the last several months trying to go somewhere that already has a championship, all the championship pieces in place that I could jump onto. What am I going to do, me, to bring a championship level or a championship culture to the place that I'm at? And that like hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, why am I focusing on everybody else? Why am I not focusing on me and what I can do to improve the culture, to improve the values within an organization, improve the energy, the quality of an organization, the commitment, the drive? I feel like I have this within inside of me, and I'm focusing on everybody else but myself. And the only person I should be focusing on is me, what I can control. So I think, I do believe God works in mysterious ways. And I think like without the knee experience, that would have never have hit me. So I'm actually what's perceived to be a bad experience, like all the knee surgeries, the blood clots, and everything else that I went through. I wouldn't change it for the world, because I think that was the biggest lesson I had to learn. And when I came back, me, Graham, and Johnny, and Will's a big part of that too. Will Wiggleman, my man. He's the engine of the organization. But we made a commitment like, hey, this isn't what we're looking for. How the hell do we come together and form a culture and an environment that we would be proud to be a part of, that can have championship principles in place, be a place that people want to come play, be a place that our fan base can get behind and really embrace this group, and they can be proud to be a part of this group. And we've slowly over the last 3 or 4 years implemented, different changes, had to weed some guys out, make some roster changes. We did have some selfishness in the locker room, guys that were more concerned about points than about winning. And you have to slowly, it's a long process, but slowly you have to get those guys out of the room, bring in the right people. People's number one, talented hockey players is number two. So number one, bring in the people. And we've done that. There's a lot of guys that aren't even here anymore that played a big role and getting this program to where it is today. Like somebody that comes to mind is Danny Chartrain. He's not here anymore. What he's done, and even, like Tucker Scantleberry. Who knows? Maybe we'll play against him in the final, and we're going to try to beat the wheels off him. But that kid, he did a lot. He did a lot for this program, and he did a lot to take steps in the right direction. You think of a guy who was here earlier this year, AJ Schlupp. I couldn't be more proud of that guy. That guy was the epitome of a teammate. He gave us everything we needed. He had an opportunity to get more ice time, and we don't want to hold guys back. We traded him for that reason. And you see, he's gotten called up to the East Coast League. He's become a captain in his team. These guys have all embraced it. So, you think about Evan Foley. Like, you guys remember Foles?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever met somebody like that. That guy would have died for this organization. He was the type of guy. So a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I'll tell you a quick story. We're in North Carolina. We lost game 1 at home. This is in the playoffs. We're game 2. I think we're tied, or we might be up by a goal in the third period. It's tight. Foley broke his foot. He has a broken foot. It's broken. And I was on the bench like, hey, Foles, can you give us a 20-second shift? Can you give us 20 seconds? Like, he was the guy that with a broken foot, he bled and would die prowler hockey. That he's the type of guy, I don't care if his neck is broken. Like, he's the type of guy, if he can go out there, you're going to go down with those type of guys that would do anything for the team. So what he's done, I don't want to slight anybody. Everyone's played a huge role. Evan Foley, what he did, we would not be anywhere close to where we are today without his contribution. He gave everything for this organization. He still watches all the games. He'll still text me and Grammar all the time, advice. And even last year behind the scenes, he played such a role last year, like our preparation for the Danbury series. He came up here and, you're preparing for a series. So the job's from like 6 a.m. to like 1 a.m., trying to prepare for that series and get everything in a row. And without him helping me and getting all the video prepared and how we wanted to attack our systems for that particular opponent, there's no way we win that series. So he's you get people like that in there. I do think the sky's the limit, and yeah, I think we have a long way to go, but it's really fun to be a part of and being a part of that culture of guys that would do anything for the logo.
And I love what you just said, that the logo. All four of us saw the movie Miracle, right? The coach said your name on the back is less important than the name on the front of it. I slaughtered that quote, but you get what I'm getting at. The name on the front is more important than the name on the back. You guys eat and breathe Prowler hockey. You are Port Huron Prowlers. We all are Port Huron Prowlers.
Everyone,
from the stands, the fans, you on the bench to all the players on the ice. We all are Port Huron Prowlers per se.
Yep. And that's what's so unique. Like, I can truly say this. I've never seen, let alone been a part of, I've never seen an organization where they have literally the fan base, ownership, the media team, the players, the coaching staff. It is really, truly one family. People that would sacrifice, people like yourselves that drive 6-7 hours to Indy, put yourselves up in a hotel just so you can be there to support the guys. Like, you don't get that other places. You don't get that. Even a high level pro, you don't often get that. Like what we have here, we have guys that truly are willing to sacrifice, whether you're in the stands, whether you're on the bench, whether you're on the ice. Everybody is willing to sacrifice, and they deeply care about the organization. That's the environment that we wanted. We never wanted it to be like, hey, it's our team of players or of coaches. We really wanted it to be everybody in the community feels connected and is willing to sacrifice, and we have that. So it's very rare, especially in minor pro hockey. You get a lot of selfishness. You get a lot of guys that, in my experience playing, guys that want to progress their career up the ladder, guys that want to make more money, guys that care more about their own personal lives or careers than the actual team. So we said, well, hell, if we can create an environment where we're very team oriented and have, as you guys said, a very deep connected band of brothers, we have something that nobody else has. That's a distinct competitive advantage. And like I said, it's taken years to take strides in there, but you saw last night, like, it doesn't matter who we're playing or where we're playing. The guys have to step up and protect each other. I mean, you saw what, like, for example, Reggie Millette. He knew that, like, one of his teammates was in a bad position and somebody was going to jump him. And what did he do? He was not even in the pile. He came sprinting in and protected his brother. Like, that's leadership. I don't know what else to say. That's leadership.
And that's a rarity. Like, you can't teach that. To see how much this group of guys have came together. Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that a lot of fans don't know. You hear it in the stands. Well, why would we get rid of this guy?
Yeah.
There's a cog on every wheel that has a job. And if they're not doing their job, if they're selfish, if they're worried about their points, they're worried about the career, you're exactly right. You got to move on. You need that. You can't teach this chemistry that I've seen in this locker room, all the way from media to the players to the fan group. It's amazing what you guys have built so far. And each year is going to keep getting better with the people in place, with the players that we have on this team. It's just a phenomenal thing right now. I've never seen it. As a fan, I've watched a lot of hockey, and like, I'll touch base on how you said, I want to see a pro get the access, give the access to themselves like a fan. At the end of to a fan, pardon me. At the end of the day, they're there for the paycheck. Yeah, I'm good at what I do, but this group of guys, they're like, I'm wearing it. If no matter what it comes down to, Reggie's a prime example. Calmest guy on the ice, but he's seen somebody in a bad predicament, and he came out making a rain. It's great to see.
It really is.
You can't teach it.
I mean, obviously, you have to live and survive, but I really do believe the majority of our team, if for some reason they had to make $0 to do it, not a damn thing would change. They would play just as hard. They would play just as gritty. I mean, yesterday was the most amount of block shots I've ever seen from this group. I mean, guys that were that we always talk about going down, like, there's a technique to blocking shots. And then we always talk about getting in the lane and wanting the puck to hit you. There's a difference between I go out and I'm hoping the guy misses the net, or I'm hoping I'm in the lane, but I hope we had guys that wanted to wear the puck, that wanted it to hit them. And I can tell you, as a goalie, there's a lot of pucks that hit you in certain spots. It doesn't feel great. And these guys have almost no gear on, and they're out there blocking shots. I mean, it's just, you can't be more impressed with that. And then the bench goes crazy every time it happens, because there's no glory in that. It doesn't show up. It's not an assist. It's not a goal. It's just guys that want to win and will do anything for each other. And that's the type of environment I want to be involved with. I want to be around. And we bring in people like somebody actually recently talked to me about like, hey, you guys have like an unprecedented amount of turnover for your roster, like in minor pro hockey. And you see some of the GMs around the league that think they're, wheeling and dealing like it's NFL draft day with these trades and everything, And what we do is we watch a ton of video on the guys before they come in. We talk to them, and when I say talk to them, it's we're talking like 30 minutes to 4 hours worth of conversations with these guys to know them deeply as people. And then we decide, are they going to be able to fit into this room? So we know exactly who they are as players and people before they come in. So there's no surprises when they get here. So we know that that's why there's so little turnover this year. We're very, thoughtful of who we bring into the room. We don't take that lightly. And then the guys that have come in have gelled very quickly. And that's a nice thing too, when you have such a tight knit culture and guys that behave a certain way, that if you have somebody that's coming into new to a locker room within 2 days, like Alex Ray is a good example of that. Within a couple days, he was very well versed on what it means to be a prowler, like very well versed because of the leadership in that room, and he's able to execute right away. He's gritty, he's tough, practices to a certain level with a certain expectation, and he fit in like a glove. So that's the benefit of having a culture like that. You get new guys in and they know what it is right away.
That's the thing.
Essentially, it's protecting the brand to a T, and you won't bring that negativity around and there's no exceptions. You just protect that brand, and you only aim to build the brand, not bust it down.
Yeah, we always say that you do anything for the logo and those who wear it. So,
I think fun. Brady did that. Brady did that last night too on the bench, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Brady was trying to get in my way. I wanted Brady to take a step back, but we always say that too. Like I said, it's a very unique environment here. The players and the coaches have to have each other's back, and you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. So, and I know our fan base is about it. Players are about it, and in my coaching role, I aim to be about it as well. So,
yeah.
I just, it's culture. It's culture. That's what it is. It boils down to culture and what you want in the locker room, and it's from top down, bottom up. Everything has to, not perfect, but perfect enough to get the job done.
Yeah. I can say this now. In all the years of hockey I've ever seen, I've never seen a coach stick up as much for his players as you do. You don't allow that other team's coach to address your guys, because the second he does, we see the veins popping out. We see him use that finger pointing. You don't do that, buddy. You talk to me, and it shows so much that I know that gives even more of a sense of respect from your players, because they know that you're there and you're going to protect them through that. They got your back if it's on the ice. It's amazing. It really leaves me speechless. I know I'm talking circles with it, but just to see that, like how you've said in the fat, it's great. That's what the fan base feeds off. It's just amazing.
Well, I appreciate it, but yeah, that's it's one thing to say like, hey, I have your back, but what are you going to do to show that? So that's what players and coaches. That's what we always aim to do. We want to show with action that we truly do care about these guys. We truly do have their back. We want what's best for them. I think a lot of organizations I've been a part of really focus on who they perceive to be their top end guys, or their goal scorers, or their starting goalie, or whatever. And I mean, everybody in our lineup, whether you're in the lineup, whether you're playing 3 minutes a night, playing 30 minutes a night, everyone in there plays a huge role. Whether you're even if you're scratched, like these guys play a humongous role in what we do. We spend a lot of time with everyone, and we really do want to have everybody's back. So because it takes everybody. It really does. And everybody says that, but like, it's just buzzwords. So we want to embody that. It really does take everyone, and we'll do anything we can to stick up for everybody and have everybody's back. And that's the most special thing we have going. And, like I said, when we talked about this a few years ago, we're always looking for competitive advantage. How can you differentiate yourself from your competition? You don't see that in this league. I've been part of a lot of organizations, good organizations, you still don't see that level of commitment to each other. If we can have that truly, not fake, but like deep in your heart, if you can truly have that, you have something nobody else has. And I think from our fan base to our staff to our players, we have that. So we're going to roll with it.
Words ain't shit. Execution is everything, and we've seen it day in, day out with you guys. And I love it.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yes, you got any questions for Coach?
I want to know your favorite bus story, Paulie.
Let's see.
I mean,
it could be from your time with the Prowlers or your playing time.
But he probably has to look at the list. That one's inappropriate. That one's kind of inappropriate. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories that are going through my head. They're still getting filtered right now. I'm trying to think of a good one that I can tell. Let's see. No, there is a lot of crazy shit I've seen over the years. Let's put it that way. So, bus story that I can tell. Let's see. Well, this one's, I don't know if this is my favorite. This is kind of funny. Like, where I was playing my very first full year in the league in North Carolina. So this would have been the 2017, 2018 season. Andre Nietzsche, who's now a Florida Panthers scout, he's our head coach in Carolina. I have a lot of respect for him. He was a very intense guy. I actually learned a lot from him. Very intense guy that cared deeply for the D zone and how to like keep the puck out of your own net. So had a lot of respect for that and the discipline that he expected from his players. So we're going to Danville for a road trip, right? So we're driving to Danville. We're late, so like you want to get there like in the morning. We're like going to cut her close for game time. So we're like an hour and a half away and the bus is completely broken down. Like we've been inching there. Now she's done. Like she's broken down. So we're at this like Love's as a gas station trying to figure out what to do. This guy has like a semi that can like I'm trying to think of the word. Like you can tow, but like it has a lot of room for it. Like a lot of room for like a bus, maybe, for example. And our coach goes up to the driver, Andre. He goes up to the driver. He's like, "Hey, can you tow us to Danville?" And like he wanted him to tow us with the whole team in the bus. And I'm like, there's no way this guy's going to do that. And the guy's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, but Andre was like mind blown because he thought he cracked the code. And like, we found our way to Danville. So then we're calling people. We end up getting U-Hauls. I'm with one of my teammates. I'm with one of them in the back of a U-Haul. And we're just bouncing, bounce, all hour and a half, boom, boom, in the back of a U-Haul. And I'm like, oh my gosh. We show up like 30 minutes before the game, and sure enough, we win. So that was pretty crazy. So I can tell that one, Aaron. I'll tell that one.
Now, I want to say this question I have it's been kind of bugging me because I'm trying to like understand it. So we've been doing this podcast, obviously, and we've been talking about points and points this, points that. And as a fan, I know the draft is coming up for the dispersal draft and everything like that for the new team. But can you tell us fans what the point is or are?
I think he's talking like for the player-wise, the point system.
Yeah.
For the point system. Oh, you mean like who's? I'm trying to understand the question. Like the what points? What exact point system are you asking about?
Is there like Go on, Andy. You might be able to explain it better than I do.
The point system where, like, how if they still run it this way, I know a couple years past it did, but like your veterans are worth so many points, and you can't go over this many points for each play.
Yeah. So they've done a lot of different things over the years. So it is kind of confusing because it does change quite a bit. They're going to have league meetings in May. And then they'll come up with whatever the system's going to be for next year. So then, we'll all learn more when, they come out with the new system. Right now, there is a certain amount of veterans you can have. So I believe, I'm trying to think, I can't remember off the top of my head if it's 300 or 500 games, but that would be a vet. So you can't dress more than 5 of those guys at one particular time. reason the league does that too is because they want younger guys to be in the league. You know, they want to promote guys to the East Coast League. If you've seen it, like this year, we have the most East Coast call-ups we've had. I mean, you've seen Reed Cooper a couple times gone up to Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo's also called us a couple other times, and guys weren't available that they were asking for, unfortunately. But yeah, that's you're gonna continue to see that as this league continues to develop and grow and get the player pool that we're getting. You're gonna see a lot more call-ups to the East Coast League. Like I think next year I would be shocked if we didn't at least double the call-ups we've had this year. You know, I've even talked to, college kids within the last week or so that have aspirations to go to the East Coast League and beyond. I mean, look at Braden Simmons-Fisher last year. Comes from college. He had a very promising career, Division I hockey, playing at St. Thomas, had health issues, kind of fell off everybody's radar, took a chance on us in Port Huron. We took a chance on him. And he made us look like geniuses the way he came in and competed. He gave everything he had. This kid, so I'll tell you a quick story. It's a little off topic, but you guys got to hear it. So this guy played through an unprecedented amount of injuries, and he was like a human X-ray machine. Like he would go out there and be like, he'd come back to the bench and be like, Paulie, just broke my hand. And I'd be like, okay, let's wait and see. Sure enough, broken hand. Hey, Paulie, I broke my face. I'm like, you broke your face? What do you mean you broke your face? Broken orbital bone. I'm like, how does this guy do it? He knows immediately what happens. It was crazy. So this guy, first off, in Danbury, he broke his face in the first period. Puck hit him in the face, broke his orbital bone. He then fought in the second period with a broken face. Like, pretty special kid. And then he comes back and he's like, Paulie, don't worry. I knew he wasn't going to hit me. He wasn't going to hit me once. I wasn't worried about the face. I'm like, okay, this guy's an L's, So we're in the playoffs. He gets against Binghamton. He goes to deposit a puck, dump a puck, and gets hit. Well, his arm went into the boards. Funny, his arm is black and blue, like it looks like it's gonna fall off. Like a strong breeze would just detach his arm from his body. It looks bad. So we go there. He's like, I'm good. I can play game 2. So he plays game 2. Now after game 2, it is like it's getting to the point where I'm starting to be conflicted. Like if I let this guy play, this is on me. This is bad. I'm afraid he's gonna lose his arm. And I think I want to say it was let's just say it was his right arm. I forget which arm it was. He's like, Paulie, there is nothing wrong with my left arm. I can do everything I need to do with my left arm. Don't worry about the right arm. So game 3, we're talking in the afternoon, trying to figure out if he can play. And we have to shut him down because it's to the point where it's not safe. He could actually hurt himself for a very long time. And this kid is crying, begging me to let him play. That's the type of tenacity he has. And he is in a ridiculous amount of pain. His arm looks like it's going to fall off, and he's begging to play. That's the type of kid he is. And then he's gone. He went to the Ottawa Senators prospect camp, had a great showing, and he's been in the East Coast League all year, and he's doing amazing. He's doing extremely well. I'm extremely proud to say that he was part of this organization. He's a Prowlers alum. He says a lot of great things about our organization. And that's what I want to see for these college kids we talk to that have aspirations to go to high-level pro. I do believe that we can help them get there. And Braden Simmons-Fisher is one of them that came in, gave everything he had. I think he developed a lot while he was here, not just as a player, but as a person. Him being around the other leaders in our locker room, I think helped him. And he certainly helped us and gave everything he had. So that's what I want to see. Guys that are young, hungry, that want to progress their careers. We certainly want to be a part of that. And we want to promote that. And, just like we did with Fish and other guys, we will fight for them. So if they give everything they have here, we will fight and badger these coaches to give them an opportunity. And, we're excited to do that for the newest group of guys here. So we're excited.
Yeah.
I think Andy has one more good question on the docket, so we can let you enjoy your Sunday afternoon or Sunday
take your time, guys.
This is something I ask everyone during this podcast when we wrap it up. Beyond the stats, on the ice, on the bench, what do you want your legacy to be left in the hockey world? What do you want to be known for?
Yeah, that's probably the best question I've ever gotten. I would say that. So, my wife and I have had many deeply personal, emotional conversations about this. So when I'm, so like I set out like my whole goal when I got my last injury. So in 2020, I couldn't walk anymore with my hip. I got a metal hip. I got a hip replacement. 6 months later, came back and played. That was what was perceived to be career ending. I found one doctor that thought he could do something for me to give me possible chance to play again. I was able to play again and actually played some of my best hockey after that. And then when I had the knee injury, the first surgery I got, it's called a distal femoral osteotomy. They cut your femur in half, basically, and they realign it to take pressure off of the outside of the knee. And they put this giant plate in there. They gave me a cartilage transplant. The cartilage failed. So I had to go in and do a whole nother surgery. And then eventually I went to a doctor in Chicago. Actually, I'll give him some love right now. Dr. Cole, Rush Orthopedics in Chicago. He did a pretty crazy surgery too. He rebuilt the whole knee. He gave me a meniscus transplant, cartilage transplant. He did a microfracture process under my kneecap, and then did some work on the inside of the knee as well. So every compartment of the knee he did a lot of work on. And my whole goal from that was, whether I play again or not, I wanted to make a full recovery so that I could play. I could be healthy enough to play. And last year, not many people know this, but I was actually skating in the morning with the guys. I was practicing towards the end of the year, and by the last 2 weeks of the season, I could tell, and in practice, I had it back. Like I had my game back. I could play, and I could save the puck again. So, and just given the situation of the season, we needed to get Coop games. Obviously, Yoshi needed to play. He was going to retire. So there's no need for me to actually play. That would have been incredibly selfish. There's no way I would do that. But just to know in my heart that like I could have played, I think that meant the world to not only me, but my wife, who like has sacrificed far more than I have to be there for me through all these surgeries and life scares. When I got blood clots, I was in the hospital from one of the surgeries. So when you ask the question, what's my legacy? I want it to be, if it's personal, I want it to be, I gave everything I had for my teammates. I gave everything I had I didn't want to ever look back as a player, as a coach, and think that there was more I could have done. I could have done more in the gym. I could have done more rehab. I could have cut more film. I could have recruited harder. I never want to question that. I always want to give, truly, I want to be able to look in the mirror and think that I gave everything. And I think it's probably going to be hard for me to think that, because I always think there's something more you can give. But that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing that I can truly, and I don't think I've done it yet, but I want to one day be able to look at myself and say, I really did give everything, whether it's all my limbs, whatever it is that I have to give. I want to make sure that everybody, all my teammates and everyone around me knows that there's nothing that I wouldn't do for them. So that's personally what I want my legacy to be. Nothing about saving the puck and, individual accolades. That shit doesn't matter. As far as the person I want to be, that's, I think we can get wrapped up in that sometimes in the heat of the moment and, winning, awards or being an all-star in the league. None of that shit actually matters. It's all about giving everything you possibly have. So that's what I'm chasing.
You're doing a damn good job, Paulie. I will say that.
Well, thanks, guys. So are you guys. You guys bring the heat. So we wouldn't be here without you guys. You guys are awesome.
I gotta say this. Just judging by that, I'm gonna slip in one more thing. So are you saying there might be a chance for a celebrity contract one day?
You never know, but I will say this: when teams have this, I'll tell you this: if teams like have like crazy goalie injuries, and like sometimes two guys go down in a weekend, or guys get called up to the East Coast League, whatever, and then you just have to dress like some random guy to like be an emergency goalie that has to play a game or something. My goal is, if that ever happens in Port Huron, my body's ready that we go out and freaking win that game. So
let's go.
That's what I want to do. So if we ever get in that situation, we need to win. So I need to be ready to step in and and ball out. So that's my goal. So I still skate with the guys in the mornings and the goalie skates, and I think we feed off of each other. I like it as much as I can skate too. I like it because these guys are hurting every week. They're sore. Their bodies are killing them. Like I need to be in it with them. So my body needs to hurt too, so we can all be in it together. So anything I can do to make my body hurt so we can be in it together, that's my goal. And obviously you see what Graham does. How many teams in the world can say that, hey, I had a bad hit against me. My head coach went out there and dropped the mitts and literally fought for me. And that's what Graham does. That guy sets the tone, man. He's I've never seen anything like it. And I love just being a part of what he and Johnny do. It's crazy.
It really is crazy because it's like I watch enough Fed. You don't see that with the other teams. I mean, if you do, you kind of, but you don't see your head coach just dropping the mitts. Come on, let's go. Come on. You don't see that.
Yeah. Well, and Graham always says that too. Like we never like you see a million fights. Obviously, we lead the league in fights. We don't shoulder tap guys. Like these guys want it. And Graham's philosophy is like, and this guy's 37 years old, right? One of the best players in the league's history. We talk about his humility. His philosophy has always been, I'm not going to shoulder tap guys because if something needs to happen, I can do it. Like that's leadership, man. Like,
yeah.
Like you see other coaches, like the guy we played against this weekend, yelling at his guys, telling him to, go out and hurt people. Our head coach is just like, no. I don't need to like yell at guys. I'll go out there and I'll fight myself, like beauty. So it's he's the engine that makes the organization go on and off the ice. Grammer's leading the way, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to work with him.
Port Huron Grit at its finest.
Hell yeah, dude. You got that right, brother.
I'm sorry. I'm just dumbfounded. I'm just the kid in the candy store sitting over here just salivating, like thinking, like, what did I just witness? It just
well, you just witnessed, Richard, was an amazing interview with the bench boss. And we got the insight on this whole Port Huron Grit. And it's freaking beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Well,
it really is.
I appreciate it. You guys do a great job. And, I truly mean what I say. Like, we wouldn't be here without you guys. When you talk about Port Huron Grit, you guys embody it too. You're about it. You'll do anything for the team. Obviously, you see that Section 9 sign on the boards. Like, you guys want to be there. You want to support the team. With Richard and, Justin, what you guys do and how much you guys sacrifice for this organization, not just this year, for in the past as well. It really means a lot. And, like we said, we have leadership in the room, but we also have leadership, in the stands, and you guys embody that. So very grateful to be a part of what you guys do as well.
I can tell you, Paulie, if you and Everett would have went at it last night, there probably would have been us three down there with you. No, I can tell you that much right now, buddy.
I would have been over the glass.
I have no doubt. You guys are about it. You guys are phenomenal. I have no doubt in my mind.
And like I said at the beginning of this podcast, it's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood from the fans to the players to the coaches. It's a brotherhood, and you will walk with your brother to hell's door.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. It's a war. We're going to war with our brothers. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say it from the bottom of my heart. All four of us are brothers.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with that.
One thing that brought us all together is this wonderful sport that we enjoy every weekend, a couple times on weekdays. We carry the flag and we battle right alongside you, whether it be in the stands, on the ice, the mental game, the physical game. From all of us here at Thumbfed Talk, from the fan base, we give a huge thank you for everything that you guys do, from Johnny, Grammer, you, yourself, all the way down the locker room. We couldn't ask for a better team. Port Huron was always scared after all these teams we had in here. They'd be here a couple of years and gone. You guys have got this fan base where it is today because we know you guys have planted the flag in Port Huron, and it ain't going nowhere.
No, we're here to stay, baby. We're here to stay.
I think on that note, Coach, thank you for hopping on Thumbfed Talk, taking the time on your lovely Sunday evening, Sunday morning, right? Wow, it is morning.
A curveball, Richard, to say, Phil.
I know.
No, thanks, guys.
Shows. This is a curveball for us. But thank you, Coach Paulin, for coming on Thumbfed Talk, talking with us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
Of course.
You too, guys. Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Take care.